Now, as we've been mentioning throughout the show and throughout the last few weeks, it is nearly Christmas. And if your little ones will be having 2 weeks off, obviously that's fantastic, but they might drive you crazy. Alternatively, perhaps you've got some free time and you're not quite sure what to do with it because you're just not used to it. Well, luckily for you, we've now got Candy Nicholson, who'll be telling us how to shrink plastic, and apparently it's really, really fun and easy to do. So thank you for joining us this morning, Candy.
Morning.
I'm absolutely oblivious to what shrink plastic is, but I'm sure you're going to inform me and inform the viewers, so very excited.
Yeah, well, I thought we'd do something a little bit different this week. I know I say that every week, and we do something different every week.
But that's the fun of it, isn't it?
But I thought I won't show you the end result until we've actually done it first.
Right, okay.
And then you get the benefits of seeing exactly how it is. So come over here.
So you're going to keep us in suspense right until the end. Okay, that's exciting.
Right, what I've got here is a small piece of what's called shrink plastic. As you can see, it's a bit like an acetate.
Right, okay.
Smooth on one side and a bit rougher on the other.
Yeah.
Now, what I'd like you to do for me is to do some colouring.
Okay, I've done that for a few
colouring.
years. Yeah, I've done it for years.
Now, these are gorgeous. I picked these up in Fred Aldous, and they're watercolour sticks.
Okay.
And they come with a water brush.
Right.
So if you want to scribble all over and have some fun.
Very exciting.
I like to let Amy get involved in what we're doing. Lean on
I like to get involved, so it's a good team effort,
so
isn't it?
there's a nice bright pink in there in yellows.
Good,
if you prefer ordinary pencils, that's absolutely
right,
fine.
okay, so you can use your ordinary ones.
You can use ordinary
the kids might have
pencils.
those lying around.
I've just pinched these off my daughter, as you can see, very well used.
Okay.
And there's also felt pens you can use, glittery gel pens.
So things you'll probably already have in the house.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So
what do I do? I'd treat myself. Just colour randomly.
Just draw anything, or just scribble?
Whichever you like, whatever you like, chick. While Amy's doing that, what I'll say is I've brought a heat gun to do this. It won't work with a hairdryer, I'll tell you that now, because the heat isn't as hot and intense as you need. But don't worry about getting a heat gun, you can put it in the oven.
Right, okay.
Don't walk away and leave it.
Yeah, obviously very, very important.
But
not just for the kids' safety, but for your own, for the safety
well, that's
of your house.
And it does actually cook within seconds. So I say, really important, you don't go away and leave it.
Yeah.
But
how much are these heat guns? I mean, is that expensive?
They're about £20. The ones that they sell at Fred Aldous. If you're going to do a lot, because there'll be other techniques that we can do with shrink embossing, heat embossing, that type of thing, where you will need
you'll get your use out of it, then,
and you will get your use out of it. But if you're just going to do some shrink plastic with the kids, then absolutely fine. You know, you can put them in the oven.
Oh, right, okay.
Adult supervision, I can't stress that enough.
Right, fantastic. So they're not essential. You can use what you've got at home. And do I just colour now as much as I want? Yeah, you can do exactly
what you like.
This is really fun. I really like it. And you can use different colours, obviously.
Yeah.
Don't have to stick to one colour.
We know Amy likes pink, so.
Well, I'm choosing purple today as well because it brings out the purple in my dress. So. All very coordinated.
I know. You'd think we'd plan it, wouldn't you?
You would indeed, but not at all. Just all falls all together very, very well.
One thing
I'm not a very neat colourer. I think I was better when I was little. It's harder than it looks, this colouring malarkey.
You'll be surprised when this cooks, shall we say.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised at, because it, without giving too much away, your colour will intensify.
Right, fantastic.
So if you haven't coloured it into a solid colour, that won't matter.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're not the neatest colourer in the world.
No, not at all.
That's really good for little children as well, because you can show them that their efforts are still worthy, and they don't have to get too frustrated.
One of the things I love doing with this is tracing over the kids' colouring pictures.
Oh, lovely! That's
so
a good idea.
So if you've got a picture in their book that's got some quite strong outlines, or trace it.
Treat yourself to a colouring book. You can get them for £1 these days, can't you? So.
And I was away colouring in pictures.
It's quite relaxing actually as well.
I think
colouring.
A lot of us grown-ups still enjoy colouring.
Yeah, it gets your frustration out, doesn't it?
And these are great. And obviously with the water brush, you can blend the colours together. I'd never done any watercolour painting, but I found it really fun just to sort of scribble with random colours. And then put the water brush on it to blend it together, and they were absolutely gorgeous.
I've done a very random design
here. That's absolutely fab.
I've really just gone a bit crazy. I don't know what that is. There's a harp in a flower with green wings that I think there'll be leaves. I think that's a bit more realistic. My name at the bottom, so there we are.
Right, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll make a hole in it, and then if you want...
Right, okay.
Because we know how Amy likes her jewellery, because she's always talking about jewellery. Right, what I'm using, you can use an ordinary hole punch.
Okay.
Now, if you bear in mind, I will apologise if any of these bits hit you.
No,
I'm making a slightly bigger hole because when it shrinks, the hole will get smaller.
Right, so everything shrinks, not just the image, all of the whole thing shrinks itself.
So we've made a good size hole there. I've just made it a little bit bigger. Right, now what I've got here is a heat mat.
Okay.
Right,
Put my crayons away, because I was always getting told off for that when I was little, being very naughty with the crayons, leaving them everywhere. Whoops.
Right, my heat gun, like I said, it's not a hairdryer.
No.
And it won't work on your hair either, it will burn you.
Right, so don't leave it out and let somebody else think it's a hairdryer as well.
No, not at all. It does actually say on it,
yeah,
it's not for your hair. But what we'll do is we'll start to heat it up.
Okay.
Just wait while the heat gun starts to work, and I warn you, it will get very, very hot.
So you have to use a heat mat, is that essential?
Well, you need to use something. I've done it before on my craft mat.
Right.
And I've found it's warped, the craft mat, because the heat is so strong.
Okay.
So if you use, this is a special
where
heat
are
mat.
they from? Are they available in lots of craft shops?
Oh,
look at that! Can you see that? Oh my goodness.
This is why I thought we'd wait for the surprise.
It happened so quickly, didn't it?
And you get to this point and you think, oh no.
I thought it was going to all fall in on itself.
Yeah. Might need to give it a little bit of a nudge.
I can see the colours getting more intense. I don't know if you can see that at home. Really, really have beautiful colours. And the bits where I didn't colour in the lines has actually been okay.
And it's now starting to flatten itself out.
Oh, wow.
And we'll pop it over a bit.
I'm liking this. Fantastic. This is such a good sort of gift idea. If you can really personalise things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially in the recession, we're all trying to save our pennies.
Well, this is great for the kids to make little gifts for their friends.
Yeah.
Key fobs or...
friends, aunties, uncles, you know, nans, granddads.
Right, that looks pretty cooked, so we'll turn that off. I'm just going to squish it flat.
Okay.
But I say with your baking sheets and things, they're pretty heat proof, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I'm sure something like that would be okay.
You find something at home that's heat proof. For obviously, when you're cooking, you have to have a heat proof surface.
So what you can see now is it's thicker.
Oh, I love it.
And it's still a little bit hot to touch. So just be careful, Amy. But if you have a...
Oh, it's not as hot as I thought. That's okay.
It cools down quite quickly.
Can we see that?
But it's thicker.
Very sturdy, isn't it? I thought it'd be quite... You know, I'm putting quite a lot of pressure on it there, so you can't tell that at home. But actually, it's not giving under the pressure, so it's very sturdy.
Once it hardens, it's pretty robust.
Yeah.
So now we've put that, we could put some ribbon through it.
Okay, so
Amy could have a nice little...
so this is a pendant now, then, is it?
We could have it as a pendant, or we could do like here.
Oh my goodness.
Now this was a picture in my daughter's colouring book.
Yeah.
That I traced last night. I used the Sakura pen to do the outline, and some other sort of watercolour pens to colour it in. Heated it down. I mean, it was actually about this big, the picture. So it's about 7 times.
So you can be quite intricate then. I mean, I suppose you wouldn't want to be too delicate because obviously it shrinks, so you lose the detail. But because it is so big, you know, you've got that freedom as well to be very experimental.
So that you can have as your key fob. Different key fobs.
This is such a clever idea. I love them. And you could really personalise them. You could draw family members. You could draw your auntie. You could draw your uncle. You could put football
fridge
kit,
magnets.
And that's such a good idea. So basically, you've just got this sort of plastic image, and then you can do whatever you want with it. I love it.
You can even buy ones that are pre-printed.
Okay.
So you just colour in the picture, and there's various different themes. I think there's some TV characters, some cats, dogs, wizards. So there's things for the boys as well.
Or football teams or anything, cricket
teams.
Colour
them in and then just shrink them down. So if we have a look at these ones here.
And were they cut? Do you have to cut them like in that shape before you use the heat gun?
Where they're pre-printed, cut sort of, there'll be a line usually.
Right, okay.
Cut round the edge.
Okay.
Be slightly aware that when it shrinks, obviously you're going to lose. See, I've cut round here and just left a little bit round the edge.
I love the detail. Personalise the numbers as well. You can just keep personalising it as much as you want.
Well, that one I just coloured it in. That was already already printed.
That's so
and
good.
I just coloured that one in. There's a little girl there as well.
Brilliant. And do you know what? Of all the crafting we've done, this has been the quickest.